remembers the big gold belt? Look at it. You know for a fact that this was the best golden title design that WWE has to offer. But this was originally made from Jim Crockett Promotions' NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. The big gold belt made its debut back in 1986, where Ric Flair has a belt around his waist. 2 years later, the Jim Crockett Promotions was sold by Ted Turner's broadcasting system. TBS established a new wrestling promotion called World Championship Wrestling. In 1991, the big gold belt was officially recognized as the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in conjunction with the NWA's recognition. Later that year, the big gold belt disappeared from the company as Ric Flair walked out of the company due to a dispute with WCW Vice President Jim Herd. WCW was forced to strip him of the world title and introduce a new title belt design to represent the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. This was right before Ric Flair signed with WWE, formerly known as WWF. He made his appearance with a big gold belt as he was self-proclaimed the real world's heavyweight champion. In the following year, the big gold belt was brought back to WCW on its own and is no doubt one of the most prestigious world titles in history. Well, is it? Today we're going to look at the top 5 greatest WCW world champions of all time. Number 5, Booker T. What a coincidence! Booker T became the next African American to win the world title next to Ron Simmons. He was one of the most favorable uprising single stars. He held the WCW tag team titles 10 times and had a great, memorable tag team with Stevie Ray, known as Harlem Heat, which they were inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2019. In July 2000, he won his first world title when he defeated Jeff Jarrett at Bash at the Beach. 1 year later, when it comes to the invasion of the Alliance in WWE, he was notably a five-time WCW World Champion. Now, can you dig that? Number 4, Goldberg. Goldberg was one of the top babyface stars in WCW during the Monday Night Wars. He has been undefeated for about 1.5 years, holding an official record of 173 straight victories. The 5th Triple Crown champion has won 3 different titles with the likes of the US title, tag team titles, and the WCW World title. On July 6, 1998, Goldberg won his first and only WCW World title when he defeated Hollywood Hogan in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, on an episode of WCW Monday Nitro. He only held it once during his dominant title reign of 6 months. He was known to be stepping up for a big challenge against those among challengers. There is no doubt that Goldberg has made it to the 6th longest reigning WCW World Champion of all time. He made it to 174 days before suffering his first loss to Kevin Nash. Number 3, Sting. It's no secret that Sting became the face of WCW for about a decade, and there's no doubt that he was one of the most beloved stars in the company. In 1992, Sting won his first WCW World title when he defeated Lex Luger at the 2nd annual of Super Brawl. Sting has held it for about 5 months until losing to Big Van Vader. This was the only longest time he held the WCW World title, which proved that he was a top star. During his time in WCW, he went from being a colorful guy to a dark crow character that tortured the NWO. Sting is recognized as one of the all-time greats, but his title runs has been lackluster. He held the world title 6 times, and he could have beat Hogan with a clean victory, thanks to his creative control. Number 2, Hulk Hogan. As you may know, Hulk Hogan was well known as one of the most popular stars in WWE for about a decade before joining WCW. In July 1994, he won his first WCW World title when he defeated the Nature Boy Ric Flair at Bash at the Beach. He held the big gold belt for 469 days, thus becoming the #1 longest reigning WCW World Champion of all time. Years later, Hulk Hogan has gone Hollywood when he formed one of the most recognizable stables of all time. Hollywood Hogan became the second longest reigning WCW World Champion when he defeated the Giant at Hog Wild and held it for 359 days. Oh, and don't forget, he spray painted the NWO initials on the title belt later on that night. During the rest of his time in WCW, he held the world title 6 times, thus having the longest combined of 1,177 days. He is no doubt one of the greatest WCW World Champions in history. Not to mention, thanks to his backstage politics. Because what you gonna do when his creative control runs wild on you, dude? Number 1, Ric Flair. Do we need to talk about it in this video? Of course. The Nature Boy became the inaugural WCW World Champion and has held it 8 times, including his longest reigning world title for 202 days. In 1991, he defeated Sting for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and WCW began recognizing him as the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, while still using the NWA belt, which is the big gold belt. The man kept the WCW afloat in the early days. He was the huge draw and helped keep the company moving until the early days of the NWO. He had a very respectable 8-month run in late 1993 to early 1994. He may have genuinely helped destroy the reputation of the belt by winning it twice in 2000, which was no doubt one of the worst years in WCW's history, far after Ric Flair has been phased out as the main player within WCW. He did manage to have some great matches with Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, Terry Funk, and Hulk Hogan. There's no denying that the living legend is the 16-time world champion next to the face that runs the place, John Cena. And that concludes the top 5 greatest WCW world champions in history. I would have personally added Big Van Vader as if only this video has made the list of top 10 greatest champions. Still, unfortunately, we have 20 different wrestlers who have won the WCW world title, so I decided to make it fair for a top 5 instead. But hey, please forgive me as I would put him as the 6th greatest WCW world champion. Let me know what your top 5 greatest WCW world champions by leaving the comment down below. And with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content. Tap that little bell so you don't want to miss the latest upload on YouTube. Hey everybody, thank you for waiting until the end of this video. I just want to let you know, for those of you who are waiting to see my next latest video about GTS Wrestling, I know many of you, especially one of my subscribers, who are looking forward to see some more videos about GTS Wrestling. As of today, especially, you see the upload date in the description down below. We are still having to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, including those among people in America. There aren't much things to talk about what's happening with GTS right now, regardless with the COVID-19 pandemic, but I will tell you this. There will be a new video about GTS Wrestling somewhere down the road, which I can't guarantee that. However, it's not going to be the same content you all would expect to see. There will be some top 10 GTS video somewhere down the road as well. For now, I can finally try to keep up with those new contents after the months of quarantine I've been dealing outside of YouTube. So yeah, that's my big announcement. Thank you all for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe for more content, and turn on the notification button to watch my next video. Stay safe everybody, and don't do anything stupid that could ruin your life. So yeah, see you on the next video everybody.